Diego got the series sweep in this head-to-head matchup last season. Pacific wins the tip, and right away they'll get it to the leading scorer, Anaya James, 14.1 points per game this season. There's Erica Adams for the Tigers, lofting it in. High post, Elizabeth Elliott through a couple Toreros. They do a good job taking the ball away, and they get a steal there. Maya Pace leading San Diego into the front court, all the way into the key, kicks it back out up top for Amanda Olinger, and she'll leave it off here for Ayana Calfani. Toreros can get into the offense. Two in the high post. This is Olinger, knocked away by Elliott. Back through for Newbert, and on here for Pace, who's driving in, and Pace draws the foul. That'll be a foul against Sam Ashby, and Pace creating something there off the dribble, drawing a foul. Free throw is going to be a key in this one. San Diego shot 43 of them in the overtime win against St. Mary's right here in the JCP on Thursday. They got 20-plus free throws 7 times this season. So they're doing a good job creating some contact and getting to the line. Here's Kira Okri. Olinger driving in, spinning, shot fake, stepping through, right side miss, gets her on board. Can't get that one to go on the second effort. Very good offensive rebounding team as well. You saw that there, but they can't get it to go. No score, minute gone here in the first quarter. Anaya James on the right side working against Calfani. Now up top here for Cecilia Holmberg. Trying to drive it in, lost it in off of her knee. Being watched by Newbert, now hands it off. James. Dancing around left and right. Right side, Holmberg. She'll drive in, stepping through. Floats that one up, can't get it to go, but James swipes it away that time from Calfani. And Erica Adams cannot get that one to go. It's a shot clock violation. So San Diego 7-7 overall. Pacific at 5-8. We told you about the free throw battle. Another key from a free throw standpoint as Pacific goes to the bench here. Call Madeline Ennis into the game. And send Elizabeth Elliott to the bench. Now, Pacific doesn't get the volume of free throws that San Diego does, but they are 23rd in the country, second in the West Coast Conference, 78% from the stripe. Olinger, opposite side for Pace. Pace spinning around, gets to the low block, goes up, has it knocked away, recovers with 10 to shoot right underneath, and lays it in. It's a two-pointer for Maya Pace. Came into this game needing 24 points to get 1,000 for her career, so she is on milestone watch. Veteran for this team who is top 10 in the majority of offensive categories in San Diego history. Toreros applying some pressure just inside the arc. Scoop layup attempt is no good. Pacific finding to create a second chance out of it, but the Toreros get it back. San Diego on the move here. Cindy Fisher likes her team in transition. Pull-up jumper is on the way. That one's no good. Missed by Pace, but another offensive board. Pace driving in, jump stop. Kicks it back from where she came. Jump shot is no good. Rimming out that time from Calfani. Rebounded by Pacific. Tigers will head the other way. And that pass is deflected. Last out off of San Diego, so it'll stay here with Pacific. Toreros 2, Tigers nothing, 7:24 to go in the first quarter. And two teams that are hoping to get a little bit more out of their offenses than they've had the last couple games. 92 combined points for the Tigers against Cal State Bakersfield and BYU in losses. And for San Diego needing OT to get to the 69 mark against St. Mary's last Thursday. James to inbound. Back here for Adams. They'll get it up top to Holmberg to set it up. Swings it around here for Sam Ashby. James off of an off-ball screen, now an on-ball screen. Leaves it for Holmberg, driving in with the left all the way to the cup and got it. Cecilia Holmberg averages about 8.5 per game. Gets the layup to tie it up 2-2, 7:03 to go first quarter. So here's Maya Pace for San Diego's offense averaging 61 points per game, 9th out of 10 in the WCC coming into today. Okri up for Calfani at the free throw line. Driving in, good take, little too strong. And the rebound grabbed by Ennis. Off the bench, gets herself a board. Now all the way the other way with some contact and an offensive foul. Tigers were on the move. It was Ashby picking up the foul. Second on Pacific, and Ashby picks up a quick two, and she'll go to the bench here in favor of Katie Deaton. Deaton was the team's leading scorer against BYU, 14 points off the bench, 4 of 7 floors, 6 of 7 from the free throw line in that loss to the Cougars 69-51 on the road on Thursday. So Pacific finishing up this Southern California road swing before heading back home to take on Pepperdine next week. Olinger for Pace. Pace pulls up. Shot rattles out and boarded by Holmberg. And the 6'2" Swede, the junior forward, skying high to get to that one. Still 2-2, 6:11 to go first quarter. James cutting through everybody. Back over for Deaton, one of her first touches off the bench. Holmberg driving in. Newbert trying to hold her ground. Spinning. Scoop shot is up and good. And Cecilia Holmberg converts again. Up to 4 points. Again, about halfway to her season average already. Newbert. Left side here, Calfani. Working off of a screen. He'll get it down low. That layup attempt is no good. Good positioning and a good look for Ennis. Tigers get the rebound, and San Diego commits the foul. Katie Deaton will come back in for Pacific for San Diego. Our first look at Veronica Sheffy and Laura Erikstrup. Sheffy, career-high 17 points against St. Mary's. Game for San Diego. They were down by 16 in the second quarter, down by 8 in the fourth quarter. Sheffy had 1 point prior to the 6:47 mark of that fourth quarter. Went on to score 17 for the game into overtime. All 6 of the Torero field goals in the fourth and 3 rebounds in the last 27 seconds to help them close out a big win to get win number 1 in West Coast Conference action. Jumper off the inbound pass is good. And Casey Newbert knocks it home to tie it up at 4. Averaging 6.5 per game for the Elizabeth, Colorado native out of Highlands Ranch High School. Three-pointer from Holmberg. In and out. Loose ball rebound, grabbed that time by San Diego, and another one of the first quarter subs in Kylie Horstmeyer. Down to the low block. Here to Erikstrup. Right-handed effort is good. Laura Erikstrup, just under 7 points per game for the 6'2" junior out of Portland at Beaverton High School. 6-4 San Diego. Less than 5 minutes to go. Next stoppage will get us to our media timeouts. This floater is no good. Deaton did well to get in the paint. Rebounded and cleared by San Diego. And here is Sheffy. Sheffy down into the post, opening up space for Erikstrup. Left-handed effort is off the side glass. A lot of looks underneath for San Diego. I think they'll like the shots they're getting. He's got to have a little more touch around the rim here in the early going. Now driving all the way in and banking it home is Anaya James. Prolific scorer. She scored 500 points in just 36 games, averaging 14 points per game, coming off of a WCC all-freshman season and an all-conference honorable mention season a year ago. Good movement by San Diego, and that pass from Horstmeyer is put in by Erikstrup, who's got 4. Torero's full court pressure, get the turnover. They got the lead, trying to make it 4, and they do. Sheffy hits the jumper, and it's 10-6 San Diego. Just under 4 to go here in the first quarter. Torero's first in the conference in turnover margin, 1.14 per game coming in. And applying a little full court pressure to double down on that last trip. James rolling around off the screen. Can't get that one to go. Boarded by San Diego. Loose ball foul will go against Madeline Ennis. And that will get us to our first media timeout of the day. Torero's 10, Tigers 6, 3:37 to go first quarter. You're watching San Diego women's basketball on the WCC Network.
There's a timeout on the floor. Gomez Trial Attorneys are San Diego's top trial and serious personal injury law firm handling San Diego's biggest cases. If a case is in the news, we are almost always the lawyers involved. Our award-winning San Diego lawyers are the very best in the business. Gomez Trial Attorneys got to support USD athletics and the 450 scholar athletes representing 17 Torero sports. And now, fans, please direct your attention to the video boards as we welcome today's junior captains of the game. We have 6-year-old Gianna and 4-year-old Frankie. On the count of 3, let's hear your loudest go Toreros. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Gianna and Frankie. Enjoy the rest of today's game. Thank you for
Back inside the Jenny Craig Pavilion, San Diego and Pacific. First quarter action here in West Coast Conference women's basketball. Toreros 10, Tigers 6. It's possession USD out of the media timeout. This is Kylie Horsemeyer just into the paint, trying to step through. Left it back that time by Melisungu Afiaki. Fresh into the game for the first time. Here's a pull-up jumper from Okri, and that one is good. And San Diego starting to heat up here offensively. Torero's on a 6-0 run. So the leading scorer, Okri, gets on the board, averaging just under 10 per game. And it's 12-6 San Diego with 3 to go here in the opening 10. Anaya James. Back for Ennis. Driving in through a couple Toreros, creating some contact. Count it, and the foul. Stepping through, bumping into Okri, and getting that one to go. And San Diego will get Maya Pace back into the game. So Ennis gets her first 2 of the game, averaging 3.5 points per game. 13 appearances overall, so played in all 13 with 3 starts. 11 of 13 from the charity stripe. Make that 11 of 14, and Sheffy able to clear and get it going the other way for San Diego. Westmeyer stepping through, and we're going to have a foul off the ball. That looks like Erica Adams underneath. Foul does go against Adams. Pacific with 4 fouls now, and San Diego with 3. Torero's inbounding here, baseline out of bounds. Horsemeyer stepping up, can't get it to go. Sheffy's offensive board and the putback. And 4 points here for Veronica Sheffy. Come off the bench for all 14 games so far this season for the 5'9" freshman guard out of Woodinville, Washington, and Snow King Academy. And coming off that big game against St. Mary's. Deaton can't get that one to go, but she is bumped on the drive, and Katie Deaton will head to the free throw line. And Pacific going to go to the bench here. They'll bring in Elizabeth Elliott back into the game for the Tigers, along with Diamond Richardson in here for the first time. So here's Deaton averaging 5.5 per game, right around 18 minutes. And free throw is just short. Shooting 70% from the line so far this year. Junior guard at 5'11" out of Wausau, Wisconsin at Wausau West High School. Sinks the second. Deaton is on the board, and it's 14-9 San Diego. 2:18 to go opening quarter. Again, Pacific playing without its second leading scorer, Liz Smith, who's missed the last couple of games. 13.7 points per game. So Tigers looking for somebody to step up as a secondary scoring option beyond James. Ferrero's getting into the post. Afiaki got it there, kicks it out for a 3. That one is no good. Just the second three-pointer attempted by either side. To this point in the first quarter, Tigers are shooting 44% field, San Diego 41%, but the Toreros nearly doubling them up in shot attempts at 17-9 so far. 5 turnovers for Pacific, none so far for the Toreros. So taking care of the basketball to this point. And Sheffy flying in. She'll draw the foul and head to the free throw line. So Elizabeth Elliott charged for the foul there. 5th foul puts San Diego into the bonus. Shooting foul anyway, so won't apply on that one. As Pacific gets Cecilia Holmberg back in and sends Sydney Ward to the bench. So here is Veronica Sheffy shooting 63% from the line this season. And can't get that one to go. Hit a couple parts of the rim. Just rolled out for Sheffy, averaging about 5.5 per game. She had 16 points in her previous 3 games leading up to the 17 against St. Mary's. Sheffy gets that one to go. She's up to 5 points, and the Toreros stretch the lead to 6 with 1:48 to go in the first quarter. James driving through, Toreros trapping and stepping out of bounds, trying to save it. That time was Richardson. So the Toreros forcing another turnover, 6 of them so far from Pacific. We gave you that as a key for this game. First in the WCC in turnover margin, and +6 for San Diego here in the first. Here's Maya Pace, 9.5 per game for the veteran Torero. Getting it up and under, a little bit of contact, and battling through is Eric Strupp to get it to go. Staple for this group, played in all 65 games in her 3 seasons, just 1 start for San Diego. And on the other end, Katie Deaton puts it in. The team's trading buckets here. 17-11 Toreros, 108 first quarter. Pace driving in, leaves it back. Jumper on the way, no good. Back iron missed that time from Afiaki. Loose ball is kicked. The Toreros will have baseline out of bounds here. 59 seconds to go in the first quarter. San Diego by 6. Off to a good start offensively for a team averaging 61 per game in San Diego to get 17 here in the first with still a minute to go. Here is Jess Finney, one of the 2 3-point shooters on this team. Drives in through contact. Can't get the bucket to go, but she'll head to the free throw line. So it'll be 2 shots here for Finney. Holmberg is charged with the foul. Sam Ashby picked up 2 early fouls. He's the only student athlete with multiple fouls for either side. Nia James is in, Erica Adams is out, and here is Jess Finney. Come off the bench for all 13 games, averaging about 13 minutes this season for the sophomore guard out of Scottsdale. She gets her first points of the afternoon. 2 of 4 on free throws coming into this one. And the Washington transfer knocks them both down. Making it 19-11 San Diego. We're under a minute to go in the opening quarter. That pass is tipped, and there's a steal and another turnover. 7th of the opening quarter for Pacific. Here's Pace. 2 points. 22 away from 1,000 for her career. She would need a career high today to set that mark. Driving through everybody, fakes the shot. Short jumper, no good. Boarded by Holmberg. And Toreros committing the foul there. That's going to be the 5th on San Diego, so we'll take it to the other end for some Tiger free throws. 67 points per game, right about the middle of the pack in the country, right in the middle of the pack in the WCC for Pacific. As Olinger comes back in for San Diego, and Eric Strupp will take a seat. But shooting 78% for the free throw line, 23rd in the country, 2nd in the West Coast Conference behind conference leading Gonzaga. Pacific will also make a sub. Elliott takes a seat. Ennis will enter the game. Holmberg is a good free throw shooter, 83% on the year. And that one rattles out. So Pacific just 1 of 4 from the line. Again, shooting 78% so far this year. Second free throw falls in for Holmberg, who's up to 5 points. And San Diego will look to bolster the offense. Calfani and Horstmeyer back in. 26 seconds to go, opening quarter. It's 19-12 San Diego, and if the Toreros take care of the basketball here, they'll have the last shot here in the first. Finney will pull it back, and Calfani with a chance to run a little bit of time as San Diego gets into the offense. Hands off to Finney. James giving her some space. Pacific not playing him too far beyond the three-point line. Finney hoists from 3. Yes, Jess Finney. Perfect shot from downtown, and that shot will not count. Good effort, though, from beyond half court, but Jess Finney knocks down the first triple of the game here with just seconds to go in the opening quarter, and that gives the Toreros a first quarter win, 22-12. Good start to this one for the hometown Toreros. They are up by 10. We're off to the second after this on the WCC Network.
We'd also like to thank Royal Line Charters for being the official charter transportation partners for Torero Athletics.
Second quarter underway here at the Jenny Craig Pavilion. Good close to the first for San Diego, leading Pacific 22-12 here on the WCC Network. David Gentili with you on the call here on this New Year's Eve day. First turnover of the game there for San Diego. Gets it into the hands of Katie Deaton. Skips it up top. Three-pointer is a right side miss. That time from Sam Ashby, who had to sit after some early foul trouble. Now a drive in, and Anaya James will get a trip to the free throw line, drawing the foul here against the Toreros. Pacific 5 of 10 from the floor. San Diego 9 of 21, so nearly twice as many shot attempts. And again, 7 turnovers in the opening quarter for the Tigers, none for San Diego. So that takeaway just a moment ago was the first for them. And Anaya James here at the free throw line sinks that one. Pacific was 2 of 5 in the first quarter. James is up to 3 points. And James averaging a team high 14.1 per game, 86% from the line. Good at distributing and taking the ball away as well. 5.5 assists per game is tops in the conference. So good scorer and distributor from the point position, and gets the Tigers back within 8. Start this second quarter. 6 for Eric Strupp to lead San Diego in the first. This is Olinger in the high post. Surveying with time, gets it down low. Layup is good for Kylie Horstmeyer, who's got her first 2. So Horstmeyer shooting 47%, just over 6 per game for the Greenbrae, California native up in Northern California out of Redwood High School. Sophomore guard at 6'0" gets that one to go. And a couple of quick fouls here for San Diego. And the Toreros will call on Harsimran Kaur off the bench. All 14, all but one of them off the bench, averaging just about 7 minutes per game, but coming in here because of some foul trouble. Sophomore forward at 6'4" out of Central Point Christian Academy in Florida by way of India. Loft one down into the low post. Ennis stepping through. Back up top, they'll reset with James. Long jumper on the way. Back iron miss, but tracked well by Ashby. Gives the Tigers a second shot. Deaton driving in, pulls up from the free throw line. That's a short miss. And she'll track down her own rebound. So good hustle from the Tigers. Couple of second chance opportunities. Great lofted pass, and Ennis just can't get that one to go. Couple of good looks for the Tigers, but the Toreros clear. They're off on the move in transition. This is Horstmeyer. And we'll back it up for Finney. Now trying to get into the offense here with Calfani with 13 to shoot and a 10-point lead. Newbert, low post Horstmeyer. And Anaya James, that time down into the post with the push. So James committing the foul. Just her first personal, first team foul for Pacific of the quarter. And again, the Tigers will continue to rotate. They'll take Ennis out and bring Elliott back in. Inbound pass comes here to Finney. She'll step back for 3. Rolls around and falls down. Finney got another one, and the Toreros opening up their biggest lead of the game at 13 points. Finney's knocked down 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, the only player with a make so far today from downtown. And once again, good hustle from Pacific, creating a second chance. Deaton will head to the free throw line. Toreros getting ready to bring Kira Okery back in, along with Veronica Sheffy. They'll take the place of Horstmeyer and Calfani. Again, early couple of fouls, 3 of them just 2 minutes, 3 seconds into the second quarter for San Diego. And here is Deaton. Sinks it for her 4th point. Shooting 70% from the line so far on the season. And another perfect free throw to make it 3 of 4 from the stripe so far for Deaton. She's up to 5 points. 27-16, Toreros 7:52. Go second quarter here on the WCC Network. Sheffy handing it off for Finney back up top. Okery. Finney once again, who's had the hot hand. She'll try a 2-point jumper and gets it to go. And Jess Finney up to 10 points here for San Diego. 3 of 4 from the floor. That turnaround shot from Holmberg is no good. Torero's looking to get up and run once again. Sheffy around the screen, leaves it back. Carr sizing it up, drives in off to the right and turns it over. Taken away by Holmberg. James is on the run, 1v3, lays it off. Shot fake for Elliott, who gets in and lays it in. Elliott has her first two, 29-18 Toreros. 6:53 to go second quarter. Oakrey, watched by Deaton on the outside. Newbert driving in, spinning, gets it back out. Long shot for Carr is good. Carson Ron Carr drops it in. Just a 1.5 per game, but smooth looking long jumper there. And Oakrey knocks that one out. Toreros have stepped up with some full court pressure a couple of times in this game, just trying to disrupt Pacific. Got a turnover and 2 off of it back in that first quarter. And now we'll sag off, pick up 3/4 court. Here with a 31-18 lead, 6:20 to go second quarter from the Jenny Craig Pavilion. Screen and roll that time. Count it, and the foul. Elliott again. Elizabeth Elliott will head back to the free throw line. I think at 2 for 2 from the floor so far. A 59% free throw shooter for the sophomore center at 6'1" out of Inglewood, California, and St. Mary's Academy. Averaging 9.8 points per game. Third on the team, but second among those that are dressed for this one for Pacific with Liz Smith out. Free throw clanks off the front iron. And misses that one, 31-20 San Diego, 6:08 second quarter. Oakrey. Newbert. Low post for Carr, backing in, had it deflected, still got it out to Sheffy. Working against James. Tries to get it into the post and knocked away by Elliott. 9 to shoot for San Diego. They'll take it out here on the baseline. For the head coach, Cindy Fisher, longest tenured head coach in the West Coast Conference by 1 year now after Jeff Judkin's retirement from BYU last season. 2 to shoot. Newbert. Misses short. Got a good look with the shot clock expiring. Pacific trying to get it back down to single digits. James carving her way through in transition, finding some space. Excellent dish. Drawing out the post defender and finding Elliott for 2. And Elizabeth Elliott has poured in 6 points here in the second quarter. Tigers back within 9, 5:20 before we get to halftime. Nice find here. Newbert coming in, and she is fouled by Elliott. Good passing out of the post by San Diego. With Newbert cutting in. Elliott picks up the foul. She's up to 2. She's had the hot hand, but she'll have to take a seat here with foul trouble. Torero's making a couple of substitutions as well here as Newbert, the Hawaii transfer, shooting 59% from the free throw line so far this year. And the lefty shot is in. Torero's rebounding leader at 6.3 per game. Good hustle stats for her against St. Mary's. 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 5 points on 2 of 12 shooting in that win over the Gales. Newbert gets that one to go, and she'll take a seat. Up to 4 points. Newbert is out, and Courtney Riston is in, the sophomore forward at 6'2", out of Broomfield, Colorado, and Broomfield High School. Coming up on 5 to go in the second quarter. And Ashby has it taken away by Maya Pace. Now all alone in 4th place all-time in steals for the Toreros. Then they get one in transition. Counted for Oakrey, and the foul. Holmberg picks up the foul. She's got 2. Pacific with 3 as a team for the quarter. And Oakrey will head to the free throw line as Pacific gets Sydney Ward back in and will take Holmberg out. Here's Oakrey, 83% free throw shooter, leads the Toreros in makes and attempts. 52 of 63 coming in from the free throw line. She gets that one to go. Toreros as a team, 5 of 6. Pacific able to break the press. Deaton gets it all the way down and able to work it in transition for a layup as Ennis gets up to 4 points. Junior forward at 5'11" out of Burlingame and St. Ignatius Prep with the layup. Good long pass to skip the lines for Pacific. Set themselves up for the layup. On the other side, Ennis committing a foul. So both teams with 4 fouls as we hit the 4:45 mark of the second quarter. Torero still hanging on to a double-digit lead, 36-24 here on the WCC Network.
Here's how it works. If you attend 12 or more games, you'll have a chance to win an espresso machine, wireless earbuds, or a wireless speaker. It gets better. If you attend 18 games, you have a shot at winning a Nintendo Switch. And at 24 games, you can win opening day Padre tickets. And if you attend all 33 games this season, you have a chance to win 2 Coachella music tickets, or better yet, an e-bike. So keep on coming out to games this season. The USD men's basketball team is back at home in 2023 as they host the UOP Tigers on Thursday, January 5th at 7 p.m. For more details or your tickets, please log on to usdtoreros.com.
Back inside the Jenny Craig Pavilion, good offensive start to this game for the San Diego Toreros. 14-27 floor, 52%. They've shot 33% or lower in each of the last 4 contests. So doing some good things on the offensive end, getting some high percentage looks down low, taking care of business at the free throw line, 6 of 7 from the stripe, and gotten a couple of triples as well from Jess Finney. They'll turn it over there. So it's 36-24 Toreros, 4:35 to go second quarter. Well, it's an early lead, maintained some distance over visiting Pacific out of Stockton, about 90 minutes east of Oakland up in Northern California. Sydney Ward leaves it off. Deaton driving in. Short shot won't go. I think a lot of good looks for the Tigers, just having trouble getting those short ones to fall. Great transition look for San Diego. Sheffy with the feed. And it's 38-24 San Diego. That time, Riston coming through. Courtney Riston gets the 2 in transition. And we told you it earlier, but Cindy Fisher has liked what her team has been able to do in transition this year. And Anaya James will learn another trip to the free throw line, driving in on Sheffy. So James coming off of an 11-point game against BYU, 5 of 19 floor, forced 5 turnovers with 5 steals. And again, almost 2 assists to turnover ratio. That's 80th in the country, 3rd in the conference. Again, scoring and distribution from the point guard position. Misses that one short. And just uncharacteristic off the mark from the free throw line for the Tigers. 78% on the season. Just 6 of 11 so far in this one. And that one rattles out, so make it 6 of 12 for Pacific. 38-24, Toreros, 3:40 to go second quarter. Afiaki watching pace cut through in the middle. Pull up from Sheffy. Short miss. Tapped around, boarded by Pacific. James leads the Tigers 4-on-1 in transition. Dumps it off. That shot is no good, and then tipped back to Ennis, who missed it and was standing out of bounds. And now the short misses that continuing to plague the Tigers in this one. Really good look in transition. Quick and decisive. Continued to attack the hoop. But couldn't get the layup to go. Toreros by 14 with 3:15 to go in the second. Here's Okri. Pace, watched by Ashby. Fed down into the post. Opposite side for a three. That one's a right side miss by Oakry. Boarded by Pacific. Pretty much Oakry and Finney who will take the three-pointers for San Diego. That layup will not go. Tapped out by the Tigers. Or check that, it was last touched by San Diego, so Pacific will keep possession here. And Riston, after making that layup, is out. Newbert is back in. And Erica Adams back in as well for Pacific. Sam Ashby will head to the bench. So James, a sophomore guard at 5'9", out of Inglewood and West High School. Inbounding it here. Foul is called. Both teams are in the bonus. And the officials are going to go back and have another look at this one. So officials review here. Again, that's Benny Luna leading the crew today. Angie Leidy and Michael Torner will get an explanation here. All right, looking to see if they're going to upgrade the foul here. It's 14-point lead for San Diego, 38-24 second quarter. Good to have you with us here on New Year's Eve. David Gentili with you on the call today. Cindy Fisher in her 18th year as head coach of the Toreros, took over in 2005, just picked up her 300th win at the helm here at USD, 318 and 217 overall. This team had a really good decade in the 2010s, 22-plus wins in 5 consecutive seasons for a team that's been to 3 NCAA tournaments and 8 WNITs in its history. Told you that Coach Fisher is the longest tenured coach among WCC coaches, and just squared off against the second longest tenured coach in Paul Thomas in his 17th season, been a staple at St. Mary's up in Moraga for some time. Bradley Davis, another one of the coaches you think about when you think about this conference, in his 8th year with Pacific, been at the helm since 2015, 96 career wins, 17th season overall with Pacific. He was an assistant and an associate head coach for 9 years under Lynn Roberts, who's currently coaching one of the top teams in the country, the 13-0 Utah Utes, one of 5 unbeatens on the year. So Davis and Fisher, the head coaches of their respective teams for a couple of programs that go back to the 1970s and playing ball at Pacific since 75 and San Diego since 78. Look around the West Coast Conference today. BYU jumped out to an early lead against St. Mary's in Provo and has not looked back, 66-41. That game is about to go final. Portland was in an early hole against Pepperdine up in Malibu, but the Pilots have rallied. 23 points in the fourth quarter for Michael Meek and company, and they lead it 83-75 with 40 seconds to go. How about a thriller between the two double-digit win teams not named Gonzaga in the WCC? San Francisco and Santa Clara going down to the wire at the Levy Center in Silicon Valley, 80-79. San Francisco picks up a win in a game that went to overtime. And Gonzaga all over LMU up in Los Angeles, 55-22. Bulldogs with 1:23 to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs with 35 points in the opening quarter. So it looks as though Portland and Gonzaga, the two unbeatens in the WCC, will stay that way here on this New Year's Eve. And here in America's finest city, San Diego leading Pacific 38-24. 2:51 to go in the second quarter. Officials just finished up the review over at the monitor and are having a discussion after that foul underneath. So just trying to make sure they get everything buttoned up, but we'll see if we get an explanation here as well in just a moment. And here we go.
We went to review. We deemed the contact to be excessive and unnecessary. It is an intentional foul on white 21. So black will shoot.
So you heard it there. After the review, excessive and unnecessary contact against Melisungu Afiaki for San Diego. So that will be 2 shots for Pacific. Intentional foul. Thanks to Angie Leidy for coming over and giving us the explanation. So the Tigers will send Anaya James to the free throw line. 86% foul shooter. 2 of 4 from the stripe. Pacific 6 of 12 as a team. That first one is no good. Our team that's shooting 41% floor, 9 of 22, 6 of 13 from the line, make it 7 of 14. So leaving a couple points on the table. They usually make about 3 out of 4, a little more than that. And James does get 1 to go. She is up to 5 points, and we are back to action here. 2:50 to go second quarter. Toreros 38, Tigers 25. James hoists from 3 and hits. Anaya James up to 8 points, shooting 36% from downtown on the season, and gets the Tigers back within 10. So they're able to turn that into a 4-point trip. Maya Pace for San Diego. Top of the key for Olinger. Now in the corner for Oakrey. Down low into the post. Olinger back out for Oakrey. Leaves it off. Pace driving in. 3 to shoot. Reverse layup is no good, but knocked to the floor, and she'll head back to the free throw line. Ennis picks up the foul there. She's up to 3 fouls as the Toreros bring in a couple of substitutions. Calfani and Horsemeyer back in for San Diego. Elliott back in for Pacific. Here is Maya Pace, 107 career games and 92 starts for San Diego. Can do it all for this group. This is that free throw, but think about scoring, setting up her teammates, rebounds and steals, top 10 for her career in a whole host of categories. Just 2 points so far in this one for the Oakland native out of Bishop O'Dowd High School. Pace sinks the free throw there. Up to 3 points. She'll take a seat. Ayana Calfani is back into the game. Already seen a lot of the San Diego depth so far in this one. James tried to get it all the way down, but falling back was Newbert, able to take it away. 9th turnover for Pacific, but they did have 7 in the first quarter, so doing a better job taking care of it here in quarter number 2. And speaking of turnovers, the Toreros will give it back there on that pass headed into the post. So 9 for Pacific, 4 for San Diego, but it's been 4 for the Toreros and 2 for the Tigers in terms of turnovers here in the second. And that is an offensive foul. James lowering the shoulder on the drive. Offensive foul, so that will not lead to free throws. 2 fouls on James. Up and down the line for Pacific. James leading the way with 7 points. Elliott was 6. Deaton and Holmberg with 5 apiece. On the other side for San Diego, Finney leading all scorers with 10. Calfani calls Woodland Hills, California home in El Camino Real Charter High School. Horsemeyer back for Calfani, setting up the motion here. Working off of a screen, driving, floats it up, short miss. Loose ball foul will go against San Diego, and Pacific will head back to the free throw line. Just a high frequency of substitutes. That's what you see with this kind of depth that the Toreros have so far this year, and 12 so far have seen the court for San Diego, compared to 10 for the Tigers. So here's Elizabeth Elliott back to the free throw line, shooting 59% so far this year. 3 for 3 floor. It's helped the Tigers pick things up a little bit offensively here in the second quarter. And that free throw is missed. 7 of 15 now for Pacific, and you shoot closer to your season average of 78%. This is a 2-possession game. And as is, they're down by 11. And that one goes. Elliott's up to 7. Toreros quickly in transition after the make. Sheffy over for Newbert. Was looking for Olinger in the post. Back here for Sheffy. Dribbling in with the left all the way to the cup. Misses the layup. Rebounded and cleared by James. In transition here. Good pass to find Adams, who fakes it. Gets it back out. James for 3. That missed everything. You can tell coming off the hand. We are right behind that spot here in our broadcast location. And off the mark for James. Not much doing from beyond the arc, and we didn't necessarily expect to see that from these two teams. Pacific 1 of 3, San Diego 2 of 4. 56 total shot attempts, only 7 from beyond the arc combined in this game. Missed for San Diego. Finney offensive board. Can't get that one to go. Newbert on the third attempt. Drops it in. Casey Newbert up to 6 points. And the senior forward right around her season average at 6.5. The Toreros have put up 41 in this first half, shooting 44%. 41-29, San Diego should be the last possession of the second quarter here. As Deaton right around the logo. Working around Finney, trying to create some space. Ball jarred loose. San Diego able to get it clear down on the floor. Horstmeyer going to have to hoist from beyond half court. No, just off to the right, but still able to get a good look with just seconds to go. So San Diego squashes the last Pacific possession and will take a 12-point lead into halftime. It's 41-29 San Diego here at the break. You're watching Torero women's basketball on the WCC network. Underway here in the second half at the Jenny Craig Pavilion, San Diego Toreros and the Pacific Tigers in a West Coast Conference women's basketball matchup here on New Year's Eve. David Gentili with you on the call. Good to have you with us as we cap off 2022 together. That layup attempt is no good from Elizabeth Elliott underneath. Nearly an open court foul as Calfani was streaking forward. Calfani still on the move for San Diego. Hits it off the backboard. And we are off and running here in this third quarter. There's a floater by Anaya James, and she gets it to go. James is up to 9 points. The Tigers' leading score at 14.1 per game this season. And Pacific has the San Diego lead down to 10. James, Holmberg, Elliott, Adams, and Ashby for Pacific to start the third. Okri, Calfani, Pace, Newbert, and Olinger for San Diego. 9:07 to go, third quarter. Toreros 41, Tigers 31. Toreros shooting 44%, Pacific 42%. Pull-up jumper is on the way, missed by Pace. Second chance for San Diego as Pace getting her own miss. Now loose underneath, and the Tigers couldn't corral it and stay in bounds. So San Diego will get a third shot at this one. 14.5 offensive rebounds per game for Cindy Fisher's squad. That's 46 in the country and first in the WCC. San Diego with 9 offensive rebounds of the 22 to this point in the game. Looking to set up the offense here with 13 to shoot. Newbert spinning around, pops a lefty jumper, can't get it to go. Elliott rebounds for Pacific, and they'll get it into the hands of Anaya James. 5.5 assists per game to lead the team and the conference as well. Gets it underneath, that shot is blocked. And that is the first block shot for either side in this game. Olinger coming up with it for San Diego, the senior forward at 6'3" out of Chatsworth, California, and Sierra Canyon High School. Inbound on the baseline here for the Tigers. They'll hand it back off to James. Corner three is short. Grabbed by Olinger. And San Diego will get on the move here. Pace. Driving in, looking for the cut. And Pacific having Elliott step over to knock that one away. Tigers will go to the bench here. Elliott, who had a couple buckets in the second quarter, takes a seat, and Madeline Ennis is back in. San Francisco City Examiner Player of the Year at St. Ignatius up in the Bay Area. There's Olinger, watched by Ennis. Pace trying to work around the screen. Pacific with some help on the perimeter, and rolling to the cup is Olinger for her first two. She had the big shot against St. Mary's, three-pointer in overtime to make it a 2-point Torero lead with 33 seconds to go. They kept the lead for good after that. James can't get that one to go. Toreros by 12 in transition here. Pace driving in. Surveying, kicks it back out for Newbert, and back up top here for Calfani to set it up. 93 career games for Calfani for the Toreros, 28 starts, including 14 this season. And once again, rolling off the screen is Olinger, and she'll head to the free throw line. So Pacific having those two guards really press out on the perimeter. as they bring Rosie Schweitzer into the game. Redshirt junior forward at 6 foot tall out of Canberra, Australia. And that's been able to be worked to some success for San Diego in the last 2 possessions. Olinger hits the free throw, only 1 of 3 from the line on the season coming into this one for her 3rd point. Back iron miss, but another offensive board. Barrows will get a shot to tack on here. 13-point lead, 17-15 to go, 3rd quarter. Oakrey again trying to work the screen and roll. Sets up an open 3. That one is good. Olinger up to 6 points, all here in this 3rd quarter. Just a 20% 3-point shooter on the season. 3 of 15 coming in, but knocks it down. And it's Toreros by 16. So get the stoppage here. Pacific is going to call a 30-second timeout. We'll stretch this into a full media timeout, so we'll take the break as well. Toreros 47, Tigers 31. You're watching San Diego women's basketball on the WCC network.
Don't forget, kids, if you're hungry, you can order your food and skip the lines. Order your food and drinks from your seats with the free Get mobile app. Your Toreros are now offering good ticket packages. Keep your name up on the video board when you purchase the good package. For more details, please call 619-260-7989.
Back inside the Jenny Craig Pavilion, San Diego 47, Pacific 31. WCC women's basketball here from San Diego. David Gentili with you on the call. Toreros building an early lead in this one. It's been double digits most of the way. They're up 47-31 with 6:38 to go. 3rd quarter out of a Pacific timeout. Here's a 3-pointer for Ashby. Yes, Sam Ashby taking more threes than any Tiger this season. 28% from downtown on the year and gets a big momentum bucket. So Bradley Davis drawing up a good one out of the timeout. And Pacific cuts the lead down to 13. Kalfani. Horsemeyer down into the post. Olinger back across. Good sharing of the basketball. Sets up the 3 that goes down for Kira Oakrey. 8 points for Oakrey, and the Toreros matching Ashby's 3. Oakrey, again, the team leader, just under 10 points per game this season. Local product out of La Jolla Country Day, one of the premier basketball programs in the country. 2-time All-American Oakrey, staying at home to play her college ball. Layup was no good. Second effort was blocked out of bounds by San Diego. And Katie Deaton will check back in for Pacific. Transfer from North Dakota State, 2 seasons after 1 season with Northern Colorado. And her 3rd collegiate stop. Ashby had the 3 just a moment ago. And that'll be an illegal screen against the Tigers. Ennis with the foul there, 2nd against Pacific. San Diego hasn't committed a foul so far in the 3rd. Remember that they got in some early foul trouble in the 2nd. Didn't end up equating to much from the free throw line for the Tigers in that 2nd quarter. Just 6 for 11 for Pacific from the stripe in quarter number 2. Torero's trying to add on to a 16-point lead. Olinger. Back here for Calfani. Takes an Olinger screen, spins around it. Right-handed scoop shot is good. Spun away from the screen. Ayana Calfani. Clever work on the perimeter. And then able to get down low and get the finish. Biggest lead of the night for San Diego at 18. Ashby down low. That shot is blocked. Turned back by Newbert. Torero streaking into the front court. And they'll set it back up here for Calfani. 62 points allowed per game for San Diego, holding the Tigers to 34 in 25 minutes and change so far. Olinger hands it off. Okri driving in and spins it home. Beautiful finish from Kira Okri, who gets up to double digits. 10 points for Okri, 20-point lead for San Diego. Ashby driving in, offensive foul. Calfani draws the charge. And that will get us to the under 5 media timeout. The Toreros trending in the right direction. How about that finish from Okri? And then the spin and finish from Calfani, getting around 2 defenders and over the verticality that time of Ward. The Toreros have built a 20-point edge halfway through the third here on the WCC Network.
Reminder fans, the USD men's basketball team is back at home on January 5th to host the UOP Tigers. Tip-off at 7 p.m. For more details and get the game tickets, please log on to USDToreros.com.
San Diego Toreros have stretched a 12-point halftime edge to 20 here in the second half, thanks to a 13-3 run, 5 of their last 5 from the floor, and a really good sign for the San Diego team. Kira Okri 0 for 10 floor against St. Mary's in the last game, 4 for 5 from the floor so far today. And quickly in transition out of the timeout, there's Okri again. She's up to 12 points. And San Diego continuing to extend that lead, 22-point edge, 15-3 run, 6 of their last 6 from the floor, really settling into a nice stretch of ball here in the third. Jumper from Ashby is no good. Okri picks it up for San Diego. A good hustle from Pacific, able to get to the loose ball. Now they'll get it over into the corner. Couldn't quite corral that run. And this is Deaton on the drive. She'll be fouled and head to the line. Holmberg is back in for Pacific. That foul going against Horsemeyer. First of the quarter for San Diego and the second on Kylie Horsemeyer. And here is Katie Deaton. 70% free throw shooter coming in. Okri, who's leading all scorers with 12 points. Finney is also in double figures. Takes a seat for the moment. And the free throw, nothing but net, but not the way you want it if you're the Tigers. Missing short from Deaton. Has been uncharacteristic for Pacific. 9 of 18 for a 78% free throw shooting team on the season. Arrows back on it here by 21. It was Pace. Horsemeyer. Back to Pace. Getting a look at this Pacific zone. Passing it down low. High block. Low block. Olinger with the finish. All 8 of her points in the third. 58-35 San Diego with 3:18 to go in the third. Low block here for Elliott. Powering through. Count it, and she's fouled. So Elliott, who's now up to 9 points, 7 in the second quarter, will head to the free throw line. And 59% foul shooter coming in as the Toreros get Laura Erikstrup back in. Elliott was the 10th ranked post in the country coming out of St. Mary's Academy. Hails from Inglewood, California. Good game for her against BYU. 10 points on 5 of 10 from the floor. And the free throw missed off to the right side. Pacific 9 of 19 on free throws today. Calfani here for San Diego. 3 to play in the third. Pace. Back for Calfani. Look at San Diego starting 4 out, then working some cutters against this Pacific zone. Tries to drop it across. Horsemeyer Corral stepping through, leaves it back. Calfani pulls up with 5 to shoot. Banks it home. Calfani up to 4 points for San Diego. Better double check it on Google, but the bank is indeed open here on New Year's Eve. Underneath is Elliott. She misses that one. Torero's on the move all the way through. Horsemeyer. Yes. And San Diego stretching the lead out to 25. Pacific back here to Elliott. Across the opposite way. Ashby's 3 is no good. Deaton corrals it for the second chance. Driving in amongst the Toreros. She is fouled and will head to the free throw line. So a Torero team that's been good here at the JCP this season. 5-3 at home. As both teams get ready to make a host of substitutions. Coming off the win over St. Mary's, sitting at 169 in the net, Pacific 227 net. So at this point, as you get a couple games in the conference, your avenue into the NCAA tournament for both of these teams would be to win the WCC tournament. Free throw is good from Deaton. Up to 6 points now. Now check that, 7 points. And make it 8. Free throws true from Deaton. Get it back to 23. You really look at the resumes and what these two teams have done so far. Pacific's got the best win of this pair over a really good UNLV team. For San Diego, pretty much they've beaten the teams above them in the net, or beaten the teams below them in the net, check that, and lost to the teams above them. I'll chalk it up to a 7-7 record coming into this one as the Toreros turn it over. Early on in WCC action, already seeing a lot of parity. Gonzaga and Portland improving to 4-0 in conference today. As that layup is good from Deaton. Takes it in to get up to 10 points. And outside of that, pretty bunched up through the first couple weekends of conference action. Here's Veronica Sheffy off for Erikstrup. Barrows with some handoffs on the perimeter. It's Pace pulling up. Right side miss. Second chance here on the offensive board from Erikstrup. Preseason All-WCC pick, Maya Pace. Second team All-Conference in her last full season in 2020-21. Tried to lob that one in with a backdoor cut to Finney. Pacific all over it. Tigers in transition. And they'll get the bucket for Ennis. 6 points for Ennis, who's got a WCC connection. Her dad, Robert, played basketball with the St. Mary's Gales. 36 seconds to go here in the third. Lead back down under 20. 62-43 San Diego. Wide open 3 for Sheffy is missed. Boarded and cleared by Holmberg. Up here to Anaya James. 3 of 9 floor for James so far in this one. Typically distributing the ball well. Just 1.5 assist under her average. 5.5 per game on the season, has 5 today. Tigers will have or should have the last shot of this quarter. James driving in, dancing to create some space, pulling up. One is no good. And the Toreros won't have a look as Pace grabbed the rebound to end the third quarter. San Diego wins that quarter by 7 points and leads at 62-43 as we're off to the fourth next on the WCC Network.
The Power Forward Club is the main fundraising arm for USD's women's basketball team, providing funds to sustain and elevate a championship caliber NCAA Division I basketball program. Thank you to our 22-23 Power Forward Club investors, who we now like to recognize at the $2,000 level and above. Dr. James Harris, Mary Ann Lynch and Wolfgang Schultz, and Tyrone and Melissa Sheffy. Thank you for your support of USD Women's Hoops via the Power Forward Club.
About ready to start the fourth quarter here at the Jenny Craig Pavilion. San Diego leading Pacific 62-43 here on the WCC Network. David Gentili for the final 10 of regulation here. San Diego won the first quarter 22-12, shooting 50% floor for the game. That would easily be the best over the last 5 games, including today. And we started out with a held ball possession Tigers. So Pacific able to take it away in this first possession here of the fourth quarter. Pacific 38% from the field, 15 of 39. Tigers 11 of 21 from the free throw line. On the move here. Three-pointer on the way. And rattles out. Any decent look for Pacific, and they're going to have to get it going from downtown. Quick offense if they want to try and put a dent into this 19-point San Diego lead. 2 of 7 from beyond the arc for the Tigers, 4 of 7 for San Diego. Ferrero's 8 of 11 from the stripe. Pacific 11 of 21. Oakrey leading everybody with 12. Deaton and James tied with 10 apiece for the Tigers. Good look underneath that time. Calfani too strong on the layup. Here's Anaya James heading the other way. James driving in, taking the space. Ant banking home. Ennis battling on the boards. And Ennis looks like she took a shot to the face. So it's going to be a foul on San Diego. Pacific will have possession here. And San Diego will bring Melasungu Afiaki back in. Casey Newbert committing the foul. That's 3 for her. Head off to the bench and hit to the face. And we did see a foul from Afiaki earlier that was an intentional foul. We won't have a second look at this one. But another shot for Pacific. Jumper is good there for Anaya James. Big one there for James to get up to 12 points, tied for the game high. San Diego can't convert on the other end. Deaton leading it into the front court, through everybody. Layup is good, and the foul. Ennis drops it home. And Pacific generating some mo. Here to start off this fourth quarter. Like, might have been a little dust up after that one as well. So I think we'll have an officials review here. A little bit of something. After that last play. And the officials will go ahead and go to the monitor once again to check this one out. Again, probably similar to what we saw last time. Just checking to see if there was anything extra after that one. We'll get an explanation here.
The previous play
Checking for activity after the whistle. Also a media timeout, so we'll go ahead and step aside for a breather. Come back, let you know what happened as a result of the review after this. Toreros by 17 in the fourth here on the WCC Network. Back inside the Jenny Craig Pavilion after a Madeline Ennis and one for the Pacific Tigers. She'll be shooting a free throw here no matter what. There was some activity and perhaps a little dust up after that dead ball. And the officiating crew has been over talking with Pacific head coach Bradley Davis, and I'm just getting the sense from body language that Coach Davis is not like what he's hearing as a result of whatever will come of this. As is, it's a 15-point game. And Tigers with some good momentum. Start this fourth quarter. So Finney and Ennis picking up intentional fouls. So double foul called as a result of that dead ball. It was Sam Ashby at the line shooting the free throw. Ashby will check out here. Pacific applying a little pressure to the San Diego backcourt and committing a foul in the process. So Ennis, who got the and one, but then was not on the floor after that play. As the Toreros get it to the other end, and it's the first two of the day for Melisungu Afiaki. So it ended up being Ashby that shot the free throw. 16-point lead. Here's a three ball from Deaton. No, she'll check it and drive it in. Good enough fake to get me too. I'll head back to the line. So Afiaki with two fouls. Maya Pace will come back in for San Diego. Get another look, good take underneath. That time by the Toreros for the bucket. Afiaki putting that one home. Pacific will get the lead back down to 15. Here on the free throw by Deaton, who is up to 11. Played in 11 of 13 with 2 starts. And that one just rattles out. Second free throw, no good. Our Pacific team down at second leading scorer Liz Smith at 13.7 points per game. He's missed the last 3 now, including today. And Deaton with the foul that time, tripping up Maya Pace. So San Diego will bring it back in from the baseline here. Calfani. Double Toreros crashing in. Afiaki turning around and hits. Nalasungu Afiaki, 2022 Peninsula Athletic League MVP and the San Mateo Daily Journal Girls Basketball Player of the Year out of San Bruno, California. And Cappuccino High School with 4 points. Good inbound play, pressuring the hoop that time for San Diego, getting the lead back to 17. That's what it was to start this fourth quarter. Each 2 teams with 5 apiece. And Toreros 7-7 overall, looking to pick up their second WCC win in 4 tries. And that time for Pacific, it was Diamond Richardson, 5'9" sophomore out of Sacramento and Grant Union. Head back to the free throw line. That's already 5 team fouls on San Diego, and we've only played 1:48 of this fourth quarter. And with how well Pacific has been shooting free throws this season, that'll be a big key here down the stretch. That free throw is good. So Richardson picks up her first point. Make it 66-50. And 66-51. Pacific's high of scoring in a quarter so far today, 17 points. So they're only winning the fourth by 2 a couple minutes in, but considering they scored 13 or 14, check that, all of last quarter, it's a good start defensively or offensively. Why can't they get the defense to match? This time San Diego will draw a foul underneath. Going against Ellie at that time. And it will put Laura Erikstrup at the line for San Diego. Pacific has 4 team fouls, so both teams in the bonus here in the fourth quarter. As Erikstrup heads to the line, shooting 69% on the season. Misses that first one. And really efficient from the floor so far this year. More than half of her field goal attempts. Been good. Team leading 52% field goal shooter. 35 of 68 coming in. Second free throw is good. Got 7 points now. And Sam Ashby will head back in for Pacific. 16-point Torero lead. 7:56 fourth quarter. Both teams are in the bonus, which is another way of saying buckle up. We might be here for a little while. Poked away by San Diego. Kira Okri sending it out of bounds. And the San Diego native, redshirt senior guard. Solid 7 points in the third quarter. Pacific's on the drive, and Holmberg can't get that one to go. It's been missed free throws and missed short shots have been the story for the Pacific troubles today. Pace can't come through for San Diego. Tigers off and running with Richardson. Got the layup in transition. 67-53, 7.5 to go in the fourth. Torero's bowling down the court the other way. Layup is no good. Pacific gets it with Deaton, and Deaton is fouled by Pace. She'll head to the free throw line. So I've told you about the high volume of fouls. If you look at foul trouble, Newbert, Olinger, Finney, and Erikstrup with 3 apiece for San Diego, along with Horsemeyer. On the other side for Pacific, Ashby and Ennis have 4. Holmberg and Elliott with 3 apiece. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way here in the fourth. Deaton rattles out. 14 of 25 from the line, make it 15 of 26. But the Tigers well below their season average from the stripe. cut the lead down to 13. 7:15 to go. Final quarter, 67-54 San Diego. Horstmeyer working around Deaton. Back up top for Calfani. Tries to get it into the high post. Pocket picked by Ashby. Ashby's on the move all the way to the rack. Can't get it to go, but is fouled. And will head to the free throw line. And for San Diego, it's Calfani picking up the foul, just her first. Already 7 fouls in the quarter for San Diego, 4 for Pacific. And the Tigers can get this thing down to 11. First free throws of the day for Ashby. Gets that one to go, up to 5 points. Free throw percentage leader in Ashby, 15 of 16 coming into this one at 94%. And that one rattles out. That had not attempted a free throw in Pacific's last 6 games, but the Tigers are going to get another crack at it here. Foul on the rebound. Going against Olinger, who has 4, and the Toreros will call her back to the bench, withdrawn in favor of Eric Strupp. So now Elizabeth Elliott will head to the line. 59% foul shooter, Elliott, and misses back iron. Second free throw for Elliott. Also a miss, and San Diego corrals it. Torero's in transition. Somehow that pass got through. Layup is no good. Eric Strupp gets her own board and puts it in. Crashes the glass as well as any. Torero, second on the team, 5.5 rebounds per game, and a team-high 32 offensive boards coming in. So that one right in the Eric Strupp wheelhouse. And there's an off-ball foul against San Diego. Torero coaching staff not happy with that one. Not too much contact there. Another look at the putback. Good job continuing to clear out some space. Going back up with it quickly. That time for Eric Strupp. And for the Tigers, Diamond Richardson will head to the line. 14-point San Diego lead. And Richardson gets it to go. Hasn't had a lot of attempts at the line, but has done well with them. 7 of 8 at 88% coming in. Richardson's second is good. Clutch 2 free throw trip that time for Pacific. San Diego 69, Tigers 57. Torero's trying to go all the way through and cannot break the press. Ashby off to the races. Count it, and she's fouled. Sam Ashby's headed to the line, and Pacific has a chance to cut this thing to single digits. That's a couple of pretty sloppy plays for San Diego. That transition pass did get through the last time around, as Eric Strupp got the second effort. But that time trying to dribble through 3 defenders. Pacific took it away, converted in transition, and San Diego will go ahead and call timeout as this one has gotten interesting here in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes and 36 seconds gone, and the Tigers have cut the lead down to 10. Pacific 4 of its last 5 from the floor, and if they can steady things out from the free throw line, might be able to make a game of this. Toreros are losing this quarter at the moment, 15-8, 15 points here in the fourth. The Tigers scored 17 in the second, and Pacific has already eclipsed its point totals in the first and third quarters here. So showing some good fight and good resilience on the tail end of this road trip, and struggled at BYU. 33% from the floor in that 18-point loss. You play at altitude, you come back, stay on the road, turn around 2 days later. Try and get your legs back under you without your second leading scorer in Liz Smith. So Ashby out of the timeout will have 1 free throw. 6 points for Sam Ashby out of Perth, Australia, and Newman College. And sinks the free throw. Most free throws made in Newman College history. By the way, Newman College, you're talking about a combination of junior high and high school if you think about the equivalent grades. That is not a college-level team like you would think of here in the U.S. And continues to shoot well from the stripe this season for Ashby, and the lead is down to 9 with 6 to go. Horstmeyer. Pace. Ferrero's staring down the barrel of this Pacific zone. Oakrey has to hoist. Bank shot, no good, did hit the rim. And San Diego will get a second chance here. Pacific couldn't complete the stop there. 12 to shoot for the Toreros. Here's Pace, trying to work off a high screen from Erickstrom. Oakrey having to leap to get to that pass. Oakrey is fouled, and she'll head to the free throw line. So Pacific doing well in terms of half-court defense. Stop the Toreros from getting a good look there, but ultimately committing a late shot clock foul, and Oakrey will head to the line. 83% free throw shooter on the season, and Oakrey hits. Up to 13 points, 2 of 2 free throw today. Back iron miss, boarded by Deaton, and she'll get it to James. Lead is back to 10 with 5.5 to go. Toreros 70, Tigers 60. Deaton driving in, crossover, pull up, misses everything. The Tigers will get a second shot. Plenty of time to shoot with 15. Down into the low post, but that's an offensive foul. Elizabeth Elliott lowering the shoulder. 4 fouls now for Elliott. And the Tigers will go back to Holmberg here and take Elliott out. Plenty of timeouts for both sides as you start to think about late game situations. Just about halfway through this fourth quarter. Maya Pace played only 26 minutes last season. Had her 2018-19 year cut short, so in her 6th year with the Toreros. Over for an Oakrey 3. That one's no good. Offensive board is corralled, and Laura Erickstrup is fouled. Holmberg committing the foul, so Erickstrup will head to the line. That's 4 against Holmberg. And Erickstrup has a chance to extend the Torero lead here. Both teams getting in the bonus early here in the fourth quarter, and the pace of this game has slowed down considerably. Erickstrup hits. Sixth player to hit double figures in this one. And she'll get to 11. Making a couple of big free throws. A couple buckets in the first quarter. Has poured in 5 here in the fourth. Deaton looking down low. Tipped and picked off by San Diego. 4:50 to go. Toreros by 12. Oakrey back out for Pace. Chance to slow it down. Try and get into the offense here. Erickstrup. Oakrey cutting through off ball. Hands it off to Pace. Trying to get that pick and roll going again. Now Oakrey. Step back jumper is no good. Loose ball. Richardson able to grab it. Ashby off and running. Pacific can get into the offense here. 3 ball on the way. Short miss. Loose ball right out in front of the Tiger bench. That time Pacific had Ashby hustling through, crashed into a chair at the end of the bench. That was good to go there. So 4:16 to go. Toreros with a 12-point edge, led by 17 coming into the quarter. Pace has slowed down just a bit as San Diego hasn't hit a shot from the floor in about 2.5 minutes. Pacific hasn't scored in a little more than 2. Erickstrup driving in on Holmberg. Back for Oakrey. Rolling off of that one and is fouled as Deaton was elevating. Got too much of the arm that time on the drive. That pick and roll, high pick and roll has worked out pretty well for San Diego here in the second half. Elliott back in for Pacific along with Erica Adams. And Erickstrup back to the line once again. 3 of 4 at the stripe so far. And misses long on that free throw attempt. San Diego 13 of 19 from the line. Make it 13 of 20. Second chance on the O board is put in, but wave it off for an offensive foul. Newbert is now up to 4 fouls. 4 Toreros with 4 fouls. Ashby on the other side is fouled out for Pacific. So you're losing one of your top 3-point shooters, facing a 12-point deficit with 3:45 to go. 6 players right now with 4 fouls. Deaton over. High low. Now check that. Ashby is still in the game. Not fouled out. Still in it. That's Ashby with the ball here, working in on Pace, who commits the foul. And Ashby will head to the free throw line. Just 2 on Pace. 19 of 34 for the Tigers from the line today. Ashby hits. And Ashby is up to 8 points. So you look at 36 free throw attempts for the Tigers as they hit it again. If you hit closer to your season average, that's 28 made free throws. So they're about 7 off the pace. If they're hitting their season average from the line, this is a 5-point game. Now check that. Be a 3-point game. They were able to make up that differential. So struggles from the line in what's been a closer game here in the fourth. And helps San Diego maintain a bit of the edge. Here's Horstmeyer. All the way through. Thought about the pass. Puts it up and knocks it down. 10 points in the last game against St. Mary's. Second most on the Toreros, who's Haley Horstmeyer, mom Karen, a Santa Clara Hall of Famer out of the WCC. Pacific gets the lay-in here on the second effort from Elliott, and will go ahead and call timeout. So just keep it quick. 30-second timeout as Elliott continues to be a key cog in the Tiger offense over the last little go of it. And 10 points against BYU, 10 or more points now in 5 straight games, and 7 of 8 overall for the WCC all-freshman pick from a season ago. Pacific team that, compared to last season, returned its top 3 scorers, whereas San Diego, season ago, 17 and 15 overall. The WNIT squad lost 4 starters. So a lot of new faces into action for the Toreros, and we had told you about Maya Pace, who played only 26 minutes last season. So another one of the key contributors, not a newcomer, but newcomer to the mix compared to what the Torero outfit looked like a year ago. For Pacific, no graduating seniors, still a very young team, and has some really good young talent, particularly in the backcourt. 2 timeouts left for the Tigers, 3 for San Diego. Tigers have Eric Strupp in a trap, and San Diego will call timeout. As Pace was streaking up the sideline, trying to break away from it. And Bradley Davis over on the Pacific bench talking with the officials, trying to say that it didn't feel like Pace had possession of the ball when they were trying to call timeout. It corralled it just before half court. I think he's got a point there. But as is, it's going to stand as a San Diego timeout. 2 timeouts apiece. Quick 30-second breather. 74-64 Toreros. San Diego looking for its second straight WCC win. Pacific trying to snap a 5-game losing streak and a 4-game road losing streak. It was a 17-point lead for San Diego to start this fourth quarter, and the Tigers have gotten it down to 10. Everybody all bunched up right around half court. Torero's able to get it into Eric Strupp. They'll hand it off to Pace, and they'll get into the front court. 2.5 to go. 23 to shoot. San Diego by 10. Eric Strupp surveying. Down into the post. Jumper on the way from Horstmeyer is no good. And Elliott able to get up, try and get the rebound. Couldn't corral it. Took a hard fall, and she remains down on the hardwood here. Jenny Craig Pavilion falls silent here as the Pacific training staff comes over to have a look. So up into the mix, took a little bit of contact on that rebound attempt. And now with Coach Davis over there to have a look as well, going to retie that left shoe. Good to at least see Elliott sitting up here. But those are the ones when you're down with an injury and you don't see a lot of initial movement. Those are the ones that typically end up being tough. Elliott back up on the feet and able to walk it off here. And two teams with physical post play, and you know with how the Toreros like to crash the offensive glass, you got to go in there with no fear on the other side. Elliott doing that there to try and get to it. Couldn't quite corral it, took a hard fall, will head off and have another look here at Elliott. So it's San Diego basketball back into play, 2:15 to go, Toreros by 10. Pacific winning this quarter 21-12. And underneath and up and in for Casey Newbert, establishing some low post presence. Newbert's got 8. Torero lead is 12. 3-ball on the way for the Tigers. That one misses short. Ends up out of play. And, yep, this has got to be the time to start firing them up for Erica Adams. Tipped out of play. Anaya James disrupted. And the Toreros will get Amanda Olinger back into play. Full court press here for Pacific. 12-point Torero lead, less than 2 to go. Okri. Disrupted once again. And San Diego wants to get some ball handling back in. Horstmeyer is out, Calfani back in. Now check that, that was a turnover, so it's Pacific on the ball here. San Diego turning it over on the last play. Tigers with a 3 can get it to single digits. And there is an offensive foul. James going through the San Diego defender who had positioning well in advance. That looked like the right call from here. James is up to 3 personal fouls. Kind of a good read that time. Usually you see that defender freeze. Sometimes the player driving in will try and step around. And Pacific will commit a foul here that'll send Okri to the free throw line. So the Toreros will have Okri at the strike. Leading everybody with 13 points. Finney and Eric Strupp with 11 for San Diego. Deaton leads the Tigers with 12. Elliott has 10. Ennis and James also with 10 apiece. And Okri sinks the free throw. Lead is now 13. For San Diego, continuing a good free throw clip over the last 2 games. 4 of 5 tonight, was 8 of 11 against St. Mary's. And Okri up to 15 points. Scored in every quarter for San Diego. And the Toreros with a 14-point cushion with 90 seconds to go. Corner 3 is good. Knocked down by Cecilia Holmberg. Had to have that for Pacific. Toreros by 11. Tigers trying to apply some pressure in the backcourt. They'll get it all the way down. Newbert underneath is fouled. And Sam Ashby coming across. And that should be number 5 on Ashby. Nope, it is the 4th personal foul. Check that. We're going off of some live stats information that is not correct at the moment. That's why we had told you that Ashby had fouled out earlier. Anyway, and it's Newbert who can't convert the free throw. 11-point lead with a minute 11 to go. Newbert got her college start at Hawaii, shot 53% off the bench in 1920. Sinks that one to give her 9 points. Also led the Rainbow Wahine 45% shooting and in rebounds in her sophomore season. In the 2020-21 campaign, the pandemic abbreviated year. Toreros by 12. Got to be here for Pacific. Driving in and hitting is Diamond Richardson. And spark here from Richardson, who will head back to the bench. Or head back to the free throw line. Check that. 6 points here. Reached that mark 2 times across her 8 appearances this season. And the free throw cuts the lead to 9. 79-70 San Diego. Pacific's caused a turnover before with that full court press. Newbert can't corral it, goes in, gets it. And a foul on the Tigers as Richardson, who just had the and one, with a transition foul, just a little hand check. Not really too much in that one. But we'll send the Toreros back to the line. And we can hit just one free throw here with Calfani heading in. It gives a 4-possession game with less than a minute to go. Shooting at 60% from the line. For the Torero veteran, 94th career game for Calfani, who sinks it. (80-70) San Diego, make it 81-70. James behind the back dribble. Richardson surveying over for Deaton. Stepping through, good take from Deaton, but rolls out. Calfani boards it. Pressure in the backcourt, trying to get it away. And Newbert able to hustle back to get it there. And San Diego staying on possession. And a wraparound bounce pass in the backcourt. That's one that could be liable to get picked off, but Newbert was reading the play and got there for USD and kept the Toreros on the ball. Calfani. Pacific just going to play straight up defensively here. Down 11 with 26 seconds to go. Down in for Newbert. Pace's 3 on the way, and good. Pace hits, and an off-ball foul. So Pace delivering with her 6th point of the game. Hasn't need to feature too much offensively, thanks to Finney and Eric Strupp stepping it up. Each of them has 11 points. Eric Strupp averaging just under 7 per game, and Finney averaging just under 5 per game. So Pace's basket is good. There was some contact left of the hoop, and the officials will have another look here. So San Diego is going to get above 500 when it's all said and done. 8-7 overall. They'll be 2-2 in West Coast Conference play. I'll give them a shot to be up and tied for 2nd in the conference. And San Francisco with the win on the road at Santa Clara today. 80-79 in favor of the Dons. Portland getting it done on the road at Pepperdine, 86-76. BYU stifling the St. Mary's offense, winning it 66-41. And Gonzaga up early on LMU and blowing the Lions out, 96-51 in Los Angeles. So San Diego will be taking some momentum into the new year and a good respite before heading to BYU next Saturday. So it's an intentional foul on Newbert underneath. Basket will count for San Diego. That's going to be 2 free throws and possession for Pacific. Again, appreciate Angie Leedy for coming over and explaining everything to us. Take the guessing game out of it. So it'll be Ashby back at the free throw line and hits the first. The isolated free throws, both of them put down by Ashby, who hits double figures, and Pacific gets the ball out of bounds as well. So after the Torero 3, 2 back for the Tigers and possession. Figures probably got to be a 3 here for Pacific. They've got it in the hands of a good shooter in Ashby. James is driving in. James gets it to go. 14 seconds to go. 10-point Torero lead. Horsemeyer here in the backcourt. And sharing of the basketball for USD. They'll get it up into the front court. Horsemeyer scoots it along right in front of the Torero bench, and that is how this one will come to an end. Our final score, San Diego 84, Pacific 74. The Toreros 8-7 overall, 2-2 in West Coast Conference play, picking up 2 straight home wins to close out